Time to turn our attention to the United States, where President Donald Trump has made a rare retreat on Twitter. Hours after he was reported to have called Haiti, El Salvador and African countries as shitholes, and following the social media storm, Trump has tweeted a clarification saying, and I quote, "Never said anything derogatory about Haitians other than Haiti is obviously a very poor and troubled country. Never said take them out, made up by Dems. I have a wonderful relationship with Haitians. Probably should record future meetings. Unfortunately, no trust." End quote. Now, earlier, talking about immigrants in the United States, Trump was quoted as having said, and I'm quoting once again, "Why are we having all these people from shithole countries come here?" End quote. Media reports say that Trump made the remarks at a closed-door meeting with lawmakers on Thursday when he was presented a proposal to restore protection for immigrants. President Trump wanted to know why the U.S. should accept such immigrants after lawmakers suggested a visa lottery idea. Trump suggested that the U.S. should get more people from countries like Norway. Last year, the Trump administration said it would look at the designation for Haiti that could affect thousands of Haitian immigrants. Just this week, the Department of Homeland Security said it would end protection for more than 200,000 Salvadorans. And also, the White House rejected an immigration proposal to help people protected under DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program.
Bon, c'est plus un cancer pour le monde là. Et je ne pas même dire pour le monde là, pour les peuples américains. Je respecte les peuples américains. C'est un peuple cohérent, qui croit dans la liberté, qui est hospitalier, comme tous les autres peuples. Mais avec la présence de Donald Trump, le fameux Donald Trump,
the condemnation came in quick and sharp. The United Nations Human Rights Office described the remark as racist. The human rights spokesperson said, and I quote, "There is no other word one can use but racist. You cannot dismiss entire countries and continents as shitholes whose entire populations who are not white are therefore not welcome." End quote. And joining me on the broadcast right now is Aaron Blake, senior political reporter for The Washington Post. Aaron, good evening. Thanks for speaking with us here at WION. Mr. Trump now says that he never made that statement, he never used that slur. But going by his past record, does it make it extremely difficult to believe him?
Well, I think if you look closely at what the president is saying, he's denying partially what has been reported. He's saying that he didn't say it specifically about people from Haiti, but the comment as reported was about Haiti, it was about El Salvador, and it was about countries from Africa. We have this morning a Democratic senator who was in the meeting confirming that the president said this, said it multiple times. There were other people in that meeting who we will be presumably hearing from over the course of the next several hours. This was a comment that the White House did not deny when it was first reported yesterday, and so it's odd to see the president now coming out and offering at least a partial denial of this. But, you know, in the context of everything that the president has said about other countries, about immigration, this seems to be not that far off of what he's said before. The New York Times reported 3 weeks ago that the president had dismissed people from Haiti as all having AIDS. He said that people from Nigeria wouldn't go back to their huts if they saw what was in the United States. So there seems to be a long paper trail here of the president making derisive comments about people from Africa, from Haiti, from countries that he seems to view as undesirable.
Absolutely. And of course, there is, you know, this pushing for the ban on people coming from Muslim majority countries. We heard that statement after the Charlottesville violence of blame being placed on both sides. But there's been bipartisan criticism this time around for this comment. We've heard Republican senators also come out and criticize President Trump for using that particular term. I'm not going to say it out loud here. Is President Trump perhaps, you know, skating on thin ice finally when he's repeatedly being rebuffed by people from his own party more and more, as we're seeing?
Well, going back to the 2016 election, there have been so many moments during which the president has said things that we thought perhaps went too far, may signal the end for him, would finally lead his party to desert him and rebuke him. It hasn't happened yet. The president's party, at least the voters in it, are very much behind him, according to the polls. The president's lawmakers in Congress have not thoroughly rebuked him. They've continued to work with him and hope to get things done, given Republicans are in charge of both the presidency and the Congress. I don't know that this will necessarily change anything significantly, but I do think it's going to be difficult for Republicans to talk about this without rebuking the president, at least in some measure. That said, I don't think they're going to stop working with him. I don't think anybody is going to suddenly say that he should no longer be president. They've been through many things like this before, and they've decided not to desert him.
Absolutely. And one last question, Aaron. This obviously comes hot on the heels after that book, Fire and Fury, you know, that the president's been extremely furious about, talking nonstop about rejecting every single claim that's made in the book. Was this unnecessary attention at this point in time when already there's a lot of attention concentrated on the Trump White House?
Yeah, we've certainly seen over the last week or so, pretty much ever since the new year, we've seen the president lashing out a lot, tweeting a lot. There are reports that he's not spending as much time in the office. He seems to be, you know, a guy who has certainly done controversial things over the course of his presidency, seems to be doing them even more. If you look at what happened on Thursday, it wasn't just what he said about these countries. It was another interview in which he suggested that an FBI agent and the FBI were trying to take down his presidency. We're trying to use the Russia investigation as a means to unseat him as president. He said something that was totally counter to the administration's stance on an important surveillance program. So it remains to be seen what happens in the days to come, but the president certainly seems to be lashing out more than we've seen in the past.